What if I told you that there were some countries that completely surrounded their neighbours without actually surrounding them? Yes, as strange as it is, there are some countries in this world that are more north, south, east, and west than their own neighbours. Take China for example, as it extends further north, south, east, and west than the furthest extent of Mongolia's territory. But this idea begs the question, how many other countries share this trait with one of their neighbours? Let's find out. So there's quite a lot to unpack here. So let's just start down here in South America. What I've done here is I've created a square based on the extreme points of each country. For example, I've done here Brazil, and any country that is entirely within this square is classified as encompassed. So for Brazil, we can say that Bolivia and Paraguay are entirely encompassed between the borders of Brazil. If we make our way up to Europe, we can see that France entirely encompasses the countries of Luxembourg and Andorra. Switzerland encompasses all of Liechtenstein. Italy is quite interesting as obviously it has the Vatican City and it has San Marino, but it also has Monaco as well. Oh, I forgot to mention Monaco. Monaco is also within France as well. But what I wouldn't have expected is that Slovenia is entirely encompassed by Italy as its northernmost point is way more north than Slovenia's. However, I would have thought Croatia does not entirely encompass Bosnia and Herzegovina as this point of Bosnia and Herzegovina is just slightly further east than the rest of Croatia, meaning it does not entirely encompass this country. Moving on to Ukraine. Ukraine is the only country in the world, as far as I'm aware, that is encompassed by one country, but also encompasses a country of its own in Moldova. And if we move up to Greenland, we can see that Greenland entirely encompasses Iceland. I feel like this is the most famous fact, as this was the first time I heard of a country or a territory entirely encompassing one specific region. Now, Russia is one of the most interesting examples as it encompasses 8 countries in its own right. And those countries are Mongolia, Ukraine, Moldova, Belarus, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, and Finland. The 2 countries that I thought would have been encompassed as well is Georgia. However, we have 2 little points here that are just south of Russia's southernmost point. And we also have Kazakhstan, which is just south as well. And if we scroll over to Africa, you can see the obvious one of South Africa entirely encompassing the countries of Lesotho and Eswatini. If we scroll up north, we can see that the DRC encompasses the entirety of Rwanda and Burundi. For Ethiopia, Ethiopia is north, south, east, and west of Djibouti. And the Senegal obviously entirely encompasses the Gambia. China also has plenty of countries that it entirely encompasses, and that includes Mongolia, North Korea, South Korea, Nepal, Bhutan, and Bangladesh. India is also in the same boat as China as it also encompasses Nepal, Bhutan, and Bangladesh. If we move our way to the Middle East, we can see that Saudi Arabia encompasses the 3 countries of Kuwait, Bahrain, and Qatar. Vietnam entirely encompassing Cambodia, but only just by a few kilometers. We also have Malaysia entirely encompassing Brunei, and Indonesia entirely encompasses the country of East Timor and Brunei again. Finally, as we make our way to Japan, the northernmost island of Hokkaido and the southernmost islands over here mean that South Korea and North Korea are entirely encompassed by Japanese territory. And in case, I've made this map which illustrates all of the points that I've made in today's video. And that seems to be every single country that extends further north, south, east, and west to a neighbouring country. Well, at least I think so. Please let me know if I've missed something. Thank you very much for watching and follow to learn something new every single day.